All right, let's move on to licensing laws. Now, again, this is something that people tend to like. And outside this studio, just out there, are 10,000 yellow taxis. And it's intuitive to think that government should license those cabs, make sure they're safe, make sure the drivers are competent, limit the number of them so you don't have chaos out there. And they do license taxis here in New York. They license them to death. You can't just buy a cab and start picking up passengers. You have to buy a license from another cab company, and that now costs hundreds of thousands of dollars. Regulation itself has priced poor people out of the taxi business. And again, Dr. Williams saw that years ago.
I drove a cab back in 1957 for a while. I made about $125 a week. The drivers in Philly now tell me they make about $250 a week.
They could make much more if they owned their own cabs.
But what stops them? It's the thousands of federal and state regulations that are imposed on the U.S. economy.
Sometimes getting a license requires a friend in the business. All those licensing laws do just one thing: keep outsiders out.
I mean, I can see when a medallion in New York now costs $600,000, it keeps poor people out. But are you saying just have no licensing, let anybody hang out a shingle, just go by, offer to pick people up? That frightens people.
Well, compare New York City, where a license to own and operate a taxi is $603,000 as of last year. Well, there are not many black-owned taxis in New York City. You go to Washington, D.C., and you see most of the taxis are owned by blacks. And so can you say, oh, well, there's Washington, D.C. is just a wonderful city for blacks. No, it takes $200 in order to get a license to own and operate one taxi, and that makes the difference.
The unintended consequences of well-intended regulation hurting the people that the politicians claim to be helping.
I don't think that they're unintended. That is, what incumbents want to do, they want to keep outsiders out so they can charge higher prices, and they make payoffs to politicians to keep the system in order.